All right. What's up, guys? Um, Hope you're all well. Hope everyone's doing well. Or if you haven't been well, hope you're better than that. Yeah, we're just back with a video, a live stream, I should say. As you know, my channel was on a hiatus because YouTube were playing games. Um, so therefore, I couldn't do streams or whatnot. But I didn't plan on doing any live for the fight this weekend because I thought that it was just a waste of time anyway. I thought that there wasn't exactly a point in covering it. And besides, the World Cup game was on as well, which was what I was watching, which turned out to be something really good to watch. I enjoyed that. But as far as the fight goes, definitely expected. It pretty much went exactly how I thought, minus the late stoppage. I actually thought it'd be much earlier, within 6 rounds. I was just kind of waiting for it to happen. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to do in terms of breaking it down. There's really just it's pretty much the fight in 2014, but with a bit more exposure to Chisora getting hit more clean, and yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, really. Minus the fact that Fury is still not nearly as technically proficient as what he once was in 2014, because in 2014 he actually showed skill. What I saw on the weekend was nothing. That was just a big guy that was able to beat up on an older guy. Guys, Chisora's 38 years old. He's not going to be able to cut distance. He's not going to be able to sustain an attack that is sustainable. It's not going to be of a duration for the course of 10 rounds, 12 rounds. He's not going to be able to do it. He's probably really not been able to do it since probably past 2016. And again, those are different fighters, right? I mean, you fight someone that's 6'9". Definitely not ideal to just sit on the ropes against a guy that's much taller, longer, who's just heavier than you as well. Not to mention the fact that Chisora was about 260 pounds coming into this fight. It served these smaller heavyweights well to. I'm not saying they got to be bodybuilders. I'm not saying they got to be, trim like a model. I'm just saying take a little bit of the muscle and the fat off and, get the cardio going, get the endurance going. And then the other stuff becomes easier. But you really do notice that all these guys, man, they really do copy they copied the game plan from Mr. W. Mr. W came out with the body jabs in all three fights. Then when Fury fights Dillian White next, Dillian White comes out with the jabs or the body shots to the body. Chisora did the same thing for a little bit. But it's just funny how, and it's obvious, right? Chisora's old. He's done. He's not durable at all. But it's just funny how people don't really go on about his technique and like how he didn't perform. Like they just want to kind of do this thing where they praise him and they applaud him for being a warrior and this and that, which is not true in this fight, by the way. But they applaud him for that, and they want to bang on about how he's this, legend of British boxing, this and that. I mean, this guy was stumbling into the ropes when he was throwing left hooks, overhands. His head movement was terrible in this fight. He had no high guard. He had no cross guard. I don't know what he was planning to do. I mean, he landed the overhand probably twice, and it wasn't that clean. He had a few body attacks, which a lot of them were bouncing off the arms of Fury. The ones that did get through were, some of them were clean. Some of them were on the belt line. Some of them just hit low, or some of them just straight away. It was always going to happen. But he lasted longer than Dillian, which is actually all right for him, I guess. There's no way Chisora should have made it to the 10th round. All this talk of Fury being this massive puncher and this and that, I don't buy it for a second. Again, like, I don't really get it, to be honest. I really don't. Like, this is some great win to people, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on. Like, it's Chisora. I mean, he's fought him twice already. This is the third time. Chisora thanked the ref for stopping it. He thanked the ref for stopping it. Literally said after that, he's like, "Oh, I thank the ref for stopping it." You know, he got like £2 million, whatever. I mean, come on. Like, this is not rocket science. It's just genuinely a thing of the guy came for a payday. He didn't really want to win. Did he want to land a big shot? Yeah, he wanted to land it, but, you know, again, even his coach in the corner, Don Charles, he wasn't there to win. I mean, it's just there for the sake of it, you know? It is literally just there for the sake of it. And that's all there is to it, really. I mean, look, you know, Chisora is done. He's been done forever, guys. Like, hence why I titled the show that, but he's been done for a really long time. You know, probably 17, 18, 19, 20, like, you know, the last 6 years he's been done, you know. Who else he's going to fight? I have no idea. I definitely don't think he should be fighting someone taller than him, because him fighting someone taller than him is a real struggle for him. You know what I mean? Like, you can see, like, even in the Pulev fight, you know, I mean, look, you know, that could have gone Pulev's way. You know, Pulev didn't really get hurt that fight. Chisora was the one that was hurt, you know? Look, dude, it was a waste of time, obviously. I'm not mad at the fight or anything, because I don't get all pent up like these other fans. It's expected. You know, Fury does what he wants outside. They do what they want. They can do anything and get away with it. So to me, just me personally, how I feel, I don't really complain about it. It's like, whatever. Because you got to remember, guys, you know, they wanted Fury to be the champion and this and that, you know, come out on top of all that, right? You know, and be established, you know, so he's the best, right? But this is what you get. You know, Dylan, okay, he was mandatory, fine. Chisora's a journeyman. You know, I can't think of many people throughout the past, you know, 6 years who have, you know, stooped down to that level. But yeah, just give me a sec. My bad, guys. I just had to step away. I got a phone call. Everyone giving me phone calls for some reason for help with stuff. But yeah. Again, you know, the fight. There's not much to break down with the fight, guys. I mean, look, Chisora sat on the ropes. He took punishment. He came forward, got countered. He got beat up. You know, the guy could barely speak after the fight, but he still wants to fight. But I don't think he really does. Like, I think this is the one where, you know, this one is kind of almost, he's been beaten into having to consider retirement. So there's a step forward, I guess, but it's a step back if he actually takes another fight. But in regards to after the fight, you know, with Usyk and all that, I don't think people really understand like all of what happened there, and I'll try to explain it here. What's up, Mark, aka Flawless Mentality? I appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. I see your videos, man. I don't comment always, but I, try to watch your videos and try to spread the word on them. So, just to support you a bit more. So that's all good, man. Thanks for stopping by here. But yeah, in terms of after the fight, um, Usyk came up to the ring. He could make it for that fight, But anyway, yeah, he was sitting ringside with Joe Joyce, and Usyk came up, and you know, Fury was like yelling in his face, this and that, calling him all sorts of names. But I see a lot of comments saying that Usyk handled it well. He's some like Terminator robot. He freaking, you know, he feels nothing. He doesn't care about Fury's trash talk. Listen, guys. And someone close to me said that, it's a language barrier, right? But, if you could understand what Joshua was saying to him in their fight in September, or sorry, August, that's when it was, this year, then how can you not understand what Fury is saying? I mean, look, this in the Western world here at least, everyone knows the F word, everyone knows SHIT and all these other, words of profanity, right? That's globally known. I bet every country knows what that means, right? I don't really think Usyk handled it well. I don't think he handled it well. I'm not saying he's intimidated. I'm not saying he's this and that. But what I'm saying is that, he was staring, and then he like pulled his phone out, and apparently he had a phone call, which I don't believe. I don't see how he could possibly know his phone's ringing or going off in the middle of all that. I just thought that was a way out sort of thing. Me personally, he kind of thought like they'd do some, subtle standard face-off. No, Fury's going to talk absolute crap to you. He's going to yell at the top of his lungs. He does what he wants. He's going to yell as much as possible. This doesn't mean I don't think Usyk beats Fury, by the way, because I'm picking Usyk in that fight. But I don't think he handled that very well. I never saw Vladimir do that. Vladimir was, he didn't move or, give any signs away like that. But I feel like Usyk got a bit uncomfortable. I'm not saying he got scared. I'm not saying he's fearful. He looked a little uncomfortable because he's not really had that before. You know what I mean? Like a big guy like that, yelling at him like that in front of that. Because you got to remember now, okay? Usyk, he's fought at heavyweight. He's fought big guys. So he's used to it, right? But again, he hasn't really come across a character like Fury. And they're both crazy guys. Like Usyk, he's a little crazy too, he looks like some psychopath with those eyeballs, I like Usyk. But apart from that, the hype is what it is. I mean, it's for the media, yeah. It's for promotional entourage sort of thing. That's what they're going to flow with. They're going to promote these two white heavyweights. And yeah, they're going to just promote the shit out of it if it gets made. But I saw Joe Joyce then join in. I don't know if anyone who's watching on the replay as well will know, but again, Joe Joyce, he went in there and he's like, oh, I think I'll put, myself into here. And then, Fury's going on about a Royal Rumble, this and that. And then Fury addressed him to his face. He said, you know what? No one calls your name out. How about I'm the only one that calls your name out. How about we get it on? And, there was some yelling back and forth. It was kind of comical. It wasn't all that serious the whole time. But listen, I looked at that and I thought, Joe Joyce will get the shit beat out of him if he fights Fury. I'm telling you now, dude. Everyone wants to talk about this chin of Joe Joyce and this and that. I'm telling you, dude. I don't like Fury at all. I nothing Fury. I don't even have feelings for him. I just nothing him, which is even more severe, right? I mean, listen, Joe Joyce will get the shit beat out of him if he fights Fury. He doesn't know how to clinch at all. He can't fight on the inside. His best bet is to back him up with long range, but he's not the bigger man. Fury's going to lean on him. He's going to do whatever he wants to him. And that'll be that. And he may stop him because Joe Joyce has actually been knocked out before. Despite what everyone says about this chin, Joe's actually been knocked out before. He's been hurt many, many, many times. Not just to the head, but to the body. So, people got to pump the brakes on that just a little bit. But, again, as I state, Joe may fight Fury next or it'll be Usyk next. But I don't think Joe really cares. I mean, he was talking all that smack about Usyk, but he's in the crowd sitting with Usyk after Usyk broke his face years ago in the Pro-Ams. For those that don't know what Pro-Ams are, Pro-Ams is pro-amateurs. So it's essentially an amateur. It's not a fight that really goes on your pro record. It will kind of count under different sanctioning bodies like or federations or whatever, that it's an amateur fight, but they don't wear headgear. But they still wear, red corner, blue corner gloves, kit, that sort of thing. But again, I think these guys, they don't quite know what they're getting themselves into. So, again, freaking apologies, people. I'm just sending a message. It's about some important thing. Give me a sec. Bear with me. That don't. Hey, dude, I hate texting, man. What happens to talking in person, eh? But that's the world we live in, huh? Okay, yeah. I saw the Dubois fight. I got nothing to say about that. I mean, look, the guy's leg went, didn't it? You have to take rest, and then he went back into it. So I don't really care about that. Whether it was a dive or it was a fix or not, I don't really care. Look, boxing is a joke overall. I mean, look, we got Crawford fighting this week, right? I'm going to watch it because I'm going to laugh at it, just for the fun of it. Because I know Avanesian. I know what fighter he is. So, I'll be proven right on that one as well. But, yeah, that fight was a joke on the weekend. Genuinely just not thrilled at all. I just kind of I don't know, dude. It's just a very weird thing, isn't it? This whole boxing thing. But I also wanted to quickly touch on the UFC. Kevin Holland is a joke. Point blank period. I mean, the guy is totally not good at all. I mean, that's the 8th loss now, or the 9th loss. Again, he's won one fight this year, and he barely scraped through that fight. Again, Kevin Holland, dude, is not a guy that is going to be beating these guys. And the funny thing is that whether he fights at welterweight or middleweight, he's going to get beat, by anyone. Or if he tries to go at someone, he struggles with them. The guy is 6'3". He's got an 81-inch reach. He's bigger than everyone in that weight class. But, yeah. I just came across some UFC news. Damn, TJ Dillashaw got cut. My lord. That's crazy. Let me see what else there's news on. This won't be a long live stream, guys. This is just straight up, I didn't even think this through. I just, what do you call it? Decided to do that. Damn, TJ Dillashaw got removed. That is crazy. But yeah, this was a quick one, guys, because as you know, I've had to go back and forth with phone calls, whatnot. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap that up right there. Peace, guys. Have a good one.